Hey everybody, how's it going? Pardon me while I wet my whistle, as it were. Hello. Let's see, what's going on the chat? Hope everyone's doing well. It is the beginning of my holiday. I'm off work this week, so nice solid week. My lovely bride is leaving to visit family, and so it's just me and the dog and a whole bunch of synthesizers, so I should be getting some work done this week. Let's see. My Logify is first. Hello. I see Jeff and Audrey, Torsten. Let's see who else. Bass Bus, Country Fair. Garen's here. Nice. Mr. Olpin, Tracy, Viral Beats, Freddie. Let's see. Andy's here. The Wookie, River X. Greetings, sir. All right, I think that's good. Everybody's good. I see. Hey, Doug, how's it going? The bass has a bit too much attack. Well, I'll live with it. Thanks for the feedback. Let's see. Who else is floating around here? Let's see. We're talking about, the red minimoog. I didn't sell a bunch of synths this weekend in order to buy it. One is enough. Well, no, it's not, but I'm not ready. I'm not in a place where I can buy another minimoog right now. So that's okay. Who else has popped in? Hey, Joe. How's it going, man? Uh-oh. Joe pulled the trigger on the 9U floor cabinet. Okay. Oh, man. More rack space. Nice. Can't wait to see it. Let's see. Who else is floating around? Is it A minor? It is A minor. Well, I mean, it is A minor, probably A, perhaps not quite A. I didn't go to too much trouble to tune things. But the Korgs should be in tune. So yeah, I believe it's A minor. Joe says not too much attack on that bass. That's fine. And Joe has more rack space. That's good. Anyway, so what's going on? I'm glad Joe's here. But because of Joe, most of last week was lost to a video game called Vampire Survivors that Joe introduced me to. So it's not Joe's fault that I have no control, but I lost a little music couch time because I was playing Vampire Survivors. But I've pretty much got that out of my system. And I did finish Baldur's Gate 3 last weekend, so I'm pretty much video game safe for this week and being able to actually work on some music with my trusty dog companion on the couch with me. So we'll see where that goes. But I might, I might blame Joe as a source for a certain amount of distraction this week, but that's okay. So what's going on? So we've got the four Korgs here, the Op6, the Mod Wave, the Wave State, the Multi-Poly, but I shoehorned in this thing because I just had this urge. The Geddy Lee one came out, the red Geddy Lee minimoog with amped up VCA, whatever that means. I have no idea. But it made me want to pull this thing out. And this happens to me on all of my synthesizers to a greater or lesser degree. But this particular one, more so than any of the others I own, when I sit here and I set it up, and then when I start noodling on it, I lose about 3 hours is what happens, because I'll be sitting here. And it's interesting because the surface area of the sounds that this thing can make is relatively small compared to, modern synthesizers. So why is it that whenever I lay my hands on this thing, I lose myself for at least an hour, usually closer to 3? I don't know. Because it's a hardware thing. It's not like I've got digital versions of this synth, and I don't lose myself when I'm playing with them with a grid and my computer on the couch. It just doesn't happen. And I think it's due to its simplicity. It's by far, other than I'd say this is the simplest synth I own. And and there are no hidden anythings. There's no shift. There's no, like, arguably I have a Moog Minotaur, which has fewer knobs on it, I think. 5, it has 15, 17, it has 17 knobs. So 9, yeah, it has fewer knobs than this, but it's got a bunch of shift functions in it. And, you know, hold down the shift key and the knobs do different things. And so that's more complex than this. But this, I sit down and just like, you know, lose it. The stuff like this, let's see. So can you hear the, let me make sure that there's no effects on. Hold on a second. There. Okay, so it's dry, no effects. Is it? Yeah. So you hear the beating. There's like the waveform beating because they're slightly detuned. But this overdrive's also got this pulsing thing going on in there. Can you hear it? This is somewhere in this overdrive circuit is this sort of repeating oscillation. So if I take it out, it goes away. If I bring it back in, I don't know what that is, but man, I lose it. And then when you're swelling it, so this is dry, it's totally mono, and then I just bring in some chorus. Right. And then this is, I know I've said this before, you guys might be sick of it. I love Univibe. It's a great modulation effect that doesn't actually overwhelm stuff, so I put a little Univibe on it. Just makes it a little liquid. Add a touch of reverb. And just like. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just playing with synths. She's like, come to dinner. Next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock and I've missed dinner. So that's what happens, man. Let's see. So it's the way it is. Thank you, Andy. We crossed a big number milestone, so that was kind of cool. And then it fluctuated back down. I like, because it's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing. I'll get like 3 people sign up, and then 2 people remember, why am I signed up here? And they unsubscribe. And so that's just the way it is. So that's good. I was fiddling around with, I was like, maybe I want to do a video, because I haven't done a non-stream video in a while. Maybe I want to do a video calling out the 10K. But honestly, it's just, I don't know. If subs was a goal, I might do that. But I did start to do a Weird Al Yankovic style parody of, what is it, from the Pirates of Penzance, the I am the very model of a modern major general, that song that everyone parodies because it's so much fun. I have, so instead of I am the very model of a modern major general, I've written 2 verses worth, there's 3 verses in the song. I've written 2 verses worth of a parody that says, I am the very model of a YouTube synthesizer shill. And I'm thinking about finishing that and maybe recording a video of me performing that, all vocoderized and whatnot. It might be fun. But people will probably take it the wrong way, and then I'll get hate mail. So I may not do that. I might chicken out. Everyone loves Univibe. I agree. So, oh, Andy, nice. I love the raccoon icon there. Demand a seat on the synth tube table? No. Yeah, I want to hang out with Daniel at Sweetwater. That would be fun. Let's see. My Logify says the minimoog doesn't have a lot of features like the Voyager subsequent. Yeah, but it shines. It is super simple. I just love it. It's very simple. It's a great synth. And it doesn't have to be a Moog one, right? Because I haven't played one, but there are videos that say the Behringer one sounds exactly the same. I don't know whether that's, I haven't verified it, but you know, whatever. If you're going to, it's sort of like the architecture is kind of what, the simplicity of the architecture is what makes it absorbing for me, right? The sound is good too, but, you know, I'd imagine that one might be fine. So a lot of people love it. The Wookiee says, you're on social media, you'll get hate mail. Simple. Yeah, I'm not on social media, actually, Wookiee. I guess YouTube can be considered social media, but I don't have any other social media accounts that are active. There's old ones that are floating around out there. You can look at my posts from 2010 or something like that. But it seems like a good use of deepfake voxes. All right. So, oh, hey, Lamont. Are you here? Wait. Am I not on live chat? Hold on. I might be on limited champ. Oh, there it is. Trust my monkeys. Hey there. Hey, Lamont. Yeah. So, yes, we have the Korgs and we brought the minimoog out. And this is the sound that I gravitate towards because I like bass, right? But we don't have to do it that way. So there's that beating in the overdrive. Let's see. Oh, someone was asking last week about Lucky Man, right? So I think Lucky Man is just two square waves, slightly detuned like this, and they're an octave apart. But I don't know how to play Lucky Man, so you'll have to ask Garen to do it. Garen can play Lucky Man if he's here. I don't think he's here, but go to Garen M's channel, and he does. He plays out in a cover band. It's cool. Let's see. Let's bring the sustain down. Let's see. Delay mix. There we go. A little chorus. A little reverb. Maybe it's not an octave apart. In my ears, this sounds okay. With YouTube compression, it might be really shrill. I don't know. Right, because the Sonic Playground is relatively. Let's flip them over to Sawtooth. And then this is the only synth I know of that has the shark tooth wave. Sort of like a triangle with a little buzz on it. And then there's no sign. Just triangle. Too much reverb. I know. I never say that, but too much reverb. And we'll turn our glide up. So if you don't have a Moog synth at home, the minimoog, the matriarch, the grandmother, the sub 37, they have this mixer model where the oscillators have a volume knob, and you set the volume on them by setting, whatever is coming through from oscillator 1, 2, or 3 goes in and gets mixed. And the thing, I think the newest manuals say this. I think the matriarch manual may say this. But the knob goes from, if you do clock dial, it goes from about 7 o'clock up to about 5 o'clock, right? Well, noon is allegedly, according to the matriarch manual, and I find this to be true, that's like unity. It's like, that's normal volume. And then when you push it above that, it distorts. It starts clipping, right? So you get a different tone when they're all cranked, when they're dimed. You can hear it with the, I've got the LFO going because it's easier to hear. There's some distortion there. Let me slow it down a little bit. Right? It's overdriving a bit on the upswing of that. If I bring it down, it's softer, right? So if you're playing with Moog synths or Moog style synths, I'd imagine the Behringer may be similar. If you keep these mixer dials at noon, it's pretty clean-ish for whatever definition of clean you have. But when you go up above noon, it starts clipping. And then there's an overdrive circuit that feeds the main output back in, which is nice too. You used to have to do that by plugging the headphone out into the input, but now it's normal. Let's see. I need a drink. Hang on one sec. Okay. Let's see. I saw a question go by. Did we mention the Geddy Lee? Hey, Captain Sky. We did. We talked about it. They talked about it back in the scroll. I can't afford it right now. So I thought about selling some synths just from a collector's perspective, but no. Nope, I'm good. Let's see. Doug asks, have you had a chance to play with the TO5 or an OB8X? I've played with both of those at KnobCon a year and a half ago. Not the most recent KnobCon. I guess it was KnobCon 11. I can't remember which one it was. My name tag's at work. I went and Sequential was there, and I played both the not the TO5. I played the Take 5 and one of the OBs. Oh, you know what it was? Okay, no, I'm lying. I was at KnobCon, and it was the Take 5 and the other one that nobody likes, the one with ladder filters in it, the Trigon. I played the Trigon, and they were both good. But I don't own either one of them. Someone else has the TO in the chat. Garen, do you have the TO? No, you have the Take 5. Joe has the Take 5. I don't know anybody who has the OB X8. But I don't know. I like things with digital. I like digital synths in general. But yeah, digital VCAs are generally more flexible, in my opinion. Whatever. I like digital stuff. I would love a Moog 1 with digital oscillators. I would buy that in a heartbeat. I'd pay original prices for that. Because the Moog 1 was great. As far as synth architecture is concerned, it just wouldn't stay in tune. But that's a soapbox I've been on before, and I won't get back on it again. So, hey, Moser. And who else? Let's see. Will, were you here earlier? Hi, Will. Popping in. If I missed anyone, hey. And let's see. Rob, and that's it. All right, cool. So what we're doing today, so I'm going to get back to doing production, like working on my album. Since I have this week is a holiday for me. My wife's gone. I'm going to work on that this week. What I thought I would do today is do some like Berlin School. I know, crazy. So let's do that. We'll just do some patterns here. We'll do a 4-part pattern. All right, we'll leave a nice empty spot at the end there. That was the mod wave you're listening to. This is the wave state. Let's add a pattern here. Let's try adding a pattern without. Let's overwrite the old one. Let's do this. Let us remove. Let's turn off the ARP on this thing. Let's do an odd length one here. All right, so what is that? 10? Pardon me while I edit this real quick. There we go. This is going to sound ugly. I'm going to tune this real quick. I don't have the minimoog hooked up so I can control from the grid right now. I didn't bother to plug in a MIDI cable. I probably should have. Then I could record and sequence it. Hey, Modern Muso. There we go. Noodling. You're just noodling. So what have you guys been up to? What's the last synth you bought? Oh, speaking of which, Joe, are you still here? I've got the Ambient Zero sitting here with its power supply, waiting to come visit you. So let me know when this week is a good time. We'll hook up for lunch or something. Does the minimoog have MIDI? Depends on which edition, or whether it's been modded. All of the new ones do. They all have MIDI, Doug. Scrolling through the chat. Music Smurf. Hey there. Let's see. Subsequent 37 had the MIDI, but the sub 37 didn't have MIDI. Yeah, no. The sub 37 did have MIDI. Have you guys seen the YouTube television show, really? Game show, maybe? It's called Actually. It's about nerds being pedantic, and I have a hard time not being that way. So, no, the sub 37 did have MIDI, unless maybe I'm having an aneurysm, because the sub fatty certainly had MIDI, and that came before the sub 37. So I don't know. Let's see. How do I like the Ambient Zero? It's really cool and super fun. It's just, it requires reading the manual. There is no human on the planet who is going to get much out of it. Ow! Oh, my synth system just collapsed. Oh, on my toe. Oh, anyway, what was I saying? Pardon me while I pick up the pieces of my shattered dreams here. Ow! This is live television, folks. I'm not going to turn the mic off and hide from this entertaining fiasco. Oh my God, that hurt. So hold on a second. That goes like that. Oof. So I have a small stand here, a music stand actually, like the kind that holds sheet music. And I use it to hold my keyboard. Oh my God, that hurts. And I just bumped it, and it disassembled itself and fell onto my toe. So I have been attacked in my own studio by my own gear. It's a sign. So hold on a second. Good Lord, that's painful. And the keys on the keyboard, as the keyboard struck the ground, leapt from the keyboard, and now they are not attached to the keyboard anymore. Check it out. Keys. Entertaining. Hang on one second. And while the keyboard was resting on my foot, it typed many random characters into the chat. Always entertaining. Okay. Let's see. You think I could just press these back on? I've never done keyboard repair. Let's see. Oh, yeah, apparently they just snap on and off. Who knew? Oh, maybe not. I may have busted one. The 8 key on the numeric keypad may no longer be. And now suddenly, hold on a second. And now one of the Apple devices just decided to start playing. All right, so here we go. This key needs to go back in. But I think, I don't know if it's damaged or not. It doesn't look damaged. It doesn't feel damaged. And all of the flanges are still on this thing. Whoops. Welcome to Synth Seeker, keyboard repair. All right, I think this just snaps back in. Well, let's try it. That's far too deep to be right. Nope. Hang on a second. Yep, hang on. Luckily, I don't need the 8 key. But it's not playing nice anymore. Hang on a second. I'm going to try and pry it off. I'm sure there's a tool, because Apple is all about not being able to disassemble things. There's a special tool. Oh well. That's something to fix later. It is what it is. All right. So I won't be able to type any 8s at you guys. Well, I mean, I can use the number row, but numeric keypad 8 is dead to me now. Let's see what we're doing before the keyboard so violently attacked my toe. Ambient 0. Okay. Now, the Ambient 0, what were we talking about? Do we like it? I do like the Ambient 0. Its panel is very confusing. Super confusing. Hang on. Sorry. The panel on the Ambient 0 makes no sense. The iconography on it is cool, but it's got like these snowflake patterns that have meaning, and you have to look at the manual, figure it out. Can you sit down and just press things and twist things and have it make sound? Yes, but certainly to get its full potential, you're going to have to do a little manual reading. I do like the Ambient 0. I've had it for, I don't know, since before Christmas, maybe almost a year now. So yes, Sandy, I do. But Joe wanted to borrow it, so one of these days it'll be fine. Yeah, rapid disassembly event. Exactly. Let's see. Is a sign of life, is that something that happens on his stream? We're talking to Chris from Signs of Life. Does he have things break on him? Or does he just fall over and knock things over? Anyway, this is what I get. So remember the modular from January, and people were like really concerned that its supports were like unstable and it was going to fall? It never fell. It was totally fine. But the keyboard is sitting on a music stand, like a sheet music stand that's turned flat. And basically the face of it, just, I typed on it so much that it vibrated away and fell and impaled my toe. Anyway, it'll be fine. Keyboard repairman on site. I've got another keyboard floating around in the closet, but we'll get this one fixed. I'll take it down to the geniuses at the Apple store, or I'll go onto the YouTubes and find like, where do I get the tool to reattach this key correctly? So it's all good. The thing about this keyboard is I use the biometric stuff a lot at work, so we'll work it out. Hey, Biscuit. And where was I? Unless I forgot. Totally possible. That's okay. You said it's a sign. Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. All right. Anyway, so what else is going on? It's 2:51. We're winding down. Do we want to make some more noise before we go? We'll do one more. Let's see. Is Audrey still here? I'm not sure. We'll do something deep. And we'll start with this. Actually, I do need to, let's just check its tuning, shall we? I think we're okay. More noise is coming. I love the light on this thing, the little overload light. It just looks like something that comes out of like a turn of the century, you know, steampunky kind of sort of thing. Do some didgeridoo. just realized I hadn't turned up resonance at all today. Hey, Jason. Yeah, I had part of my studio fall apart and try and kill me. It's okay. Sorry, I'm in like drone territory, but I'm probably playing too many notes for, drone, but we're just keeping it low right now. That's right, Audrey. I'll get it fixed later. The filter's buzzy quality is, I've got some res on it. I'm also running a square and a saw through it, so you're going to get that top end. If I take the resonance away, AM, a little amp modulation. We'll tune the LFO, the note. There you go, Jason. We're riding the overload circuit just to keep it right on that edge before it falls in. Anyway, yeah, it is fun. Music Smurf, this was your sound. All right, let's see. We could use OS3 as another modulation source if we wanted to. Let's do this. And OS3. All right, let's go into the filter right now. Right, and it's tied to the note, the higher note. It'll play faster. And we can sort of balance it with the LFO. Changes the pitch, though. Now we're getting into noise territory. If you guys, if you came for Berlin School and you weren't here for noise, I'm sorry. I was using it as using a square wave. We moved over to triangle or to falling ramp. Now, if we turn off OS control, so it's whatever the pitch is, we can use it as like a rhythmic LFO. Turn the reverb down for a second. Do this. There we go. We can do, so I was changing the delay timing against this LFO, against the oscillator 3 speed, but we can leave the delay timing and then change the oscillator speed. This is where using synced delay times, you miss all this stuff, right? Because all these in-betweens textures. let's slow it down just a teeny bit. Let's see. Let me find a... Here, let's see. I don't think I can play this splitting one hand on each instrument, but we'll see. Something like that. Something like that. I'm not prepared to be split like that. Anyway, all right, let's see. It's 3:05. Little Doctor Who nod. It's always fun. Doug, yeah, oscillator 3 is essentially an LFO when you throw this switch, or rather when you throw this switch over here. You turn the modulation mix and you set the octave of oscillator 3 to low. It then becomes an LFO. And if you turn off the control switch, you can tune it to whatever you want. So, yep. There is no mod matrix on the minimoog. It's just where do you want it to go to, and you can impact it with these switches. So it's all bad. Pretty good for improv. Thanks. If I had another voice here, like if this keyboard was split, I could do it better here. But whatever. Anyway, Toroid Labs, Jason, you're throwing out the raccoons. Always fun. Let's see. Fish pie. That's not good. And over the edge we go. Let's see. Any questions or comments? Music Smurf question. Would you recommend buying an original MIDI Moog from the 70s or get a reissue? That depends entirely, Music Smurf, on your tolerance for maintaining vintage gear. I have zero tolerance, almost zero. 2% willingness to maintain vintage gear. So this is a vintage architecture, vintage design, but it's all like the components are new. They didn't like go to a barn and find a bunch of old components that haven't been used and then build these things. So I'm fine with that. But you know, if you're a collector, yeah, go for it, right? But if you just want the sound, buy a new one or go get one of the clones, right? They sound pretty good too. I haven't done a personal comparison, but the internet says they sound exactly the same. I don't know. But I wanted one for the collection, so that's why we're there. I also want one of the Geddy Lee ones too, really bad, but I don't have the money. So here's a question: would it be okay? This is not a smart thing I'm suggesting. Okay, it's not smart, but would it be acceptable as a synth collector to sell a Nordwave 2 and a Summit and a Hydrasynth Deluxe to get the new Geddy Lee signature minimoog? For some of you, that's an okay thing. And for some of you, it's patently not. And for me, I thought about it, but I opted not to do it. Is that the one Derbyshire did? Derbyshire did the original. I don't remember. Oh, the one KLF did? That's one of my favorites. Doctor in the TARDIS, great song. I'd go for the red one. Yeah, so would I. So it's so funny. How superficial am I as a collector that I like the colors? So anyway, let's see. The Tom Baker Doctor Who theme was based on a CS80 and the ARP Odyssey for lead, says Biscuit. Okay. Yeah, Poly D. Check out the Poly D. So one thing I want to know. So this this minimoog is 2 years old now, and its calibration needs to be adjusted very slightly. There's like between 1, 2, 3, 4 from so a 3-octave interval. What it is it's like I don't know, 10 cents sharp at the bottom and 10 cents flat at the bottom. No, I'm doing it. Yeah, it's 10 cents sharp at the bottom and 10 cents flat at the top, which is fine, especially if you're detuning oscillators, it's fine. But I'm OCD, and the back panel of this thing, the access to calibrating it is super, super easy to get to. And the calibration instructions are very clear, and I've done it before on other gear. I've never done it on a minimoog, but the same basic approach. You tune it, then you set the calibration across the octaves, and then you adjust, and you basically rinse and repeat that loop until it's in the right place. I'm very curious about how it works on some of the clones, because if it's exactly the same on the clones, like I don't even have to disassemble it. There's access ports in the back for tuning. Because I would, if it's trivial and they stay in tune at least as good as this does, this has gone, out a little bit over 2 years, I might get one of the clones. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. You just want the sound? If you just want the sound, you don't need to spend the money on these. No, you can get that sound in a number of ways. Let's see. Just catching up on the chat. Sad Luke, sad. I'm sad because of my potential purchase. Selling the babies to buy the next one. No, I didn't do it. Hey, Amphonics. We're just winding down here. My Logify, how long does it keep in tune when you tune it perfectly? Well, when it arrived, it was, I won't say perfect, but it was good enough, right? I am seriously OCD about tuning, and it was fine enough for me. So if you have hung out on a Discord with me, you know exactly how obsessive compulsive I am about analog synths and how they should stay in tune. This stays in tune well enough. I have no problems. It's been 2 years, and it's only tweaked out a little tiny bit. So it's not a problem. Vintage gear drives big bill repairs. Yeah, for sure. I have a synth cohort, a friend. He saw something on Craigslist here in Boston, and he wanted to buy it. It's $500, but he lives in Chicago. And I was like, if you Venmo me the money, I'll buy it for you. And then we can figure out how to get it to you, because shipping is going to be a bitch. The thing weighs a ton. It's a big mixer. And he sent me he was like, yes, sent me the money. Maybe I'm an enabler. I don't know. He sent me the money. And I bought it, and it's been sitting in my house for like 6 months now. So I'm like, do you want this thing? Because he sent me the money. So I'm like, I'm sitting on a mixer that is technically his. He's out $500. And it needs some repair. But really it comes down to, it's vintage and it's really nice. It's like a $6,000 mixer that he bought for $500, but it needs like $2,000 in repair. So what are you going to do? So he's working that out. I keep pinging him every once in a while to say, hey man, your mixer's sitting here. It's pretty. But it's vintage, and yeah, it's expensive. So, on the Model D, especially the new ones, they're easy to fix. I think the older ones, you can run into a case where they've been retuned, and you run out of potentiometer. The potentiometer for tuning gets maxed out. I watched a video on that, and the guy said, yeah, at that point you have to come in and you have to do a few more deeper tweaks, but he's like, but it's doable. But let's see. Reading the chat here. I am very much in favor of selling things to upgrade your core set of gear, says Captive Sky Official. Yeah, I mean, so I make music and I collect. So those two sides of me argue with each other. That's okay. But not for a second piece of something you have. Okay, fair. I'm bad. I buy multiples. I totally buy multiples. So it's okay. I'm very tempted by these Korg synths. I'm like, maybe I need another one of these, even though I've got the VST and you just load another instance, right? Hey, go Shenanigans. Hey, it's not a problem, man. We're actually winding down. It's 3:15. I'm actually over by 15 minutes. So Feel free to go back and watch the replay if you want. If you're interested, we just made a bunch of noise on the minimoog and the corks. And I babbled, and my keyboard stand broke and crushed and broke my foot. Now I have a broken keyboard, but this kind of keyboard, this kind, not the musical kind. So don't panic. Later, Biscuit. Have fun. I'm closing up shop. Everybody should go on to the next stream or go prepare dinner or do whatever you need to do. I am on holiday this week. Audrey says, question, Behringer Model D or Poly D? I don't know. Do you want a monosynth or a polysynth? Really? I'd imagine that's the only difference. Is it paraphonic or truly polyphonic? It's because poly in the name. It's probably polyphonic. It's up to you. I've played a Trigon, which is a polyphonic, basically a polyphonic minimoog from Sequential. I didn't care for it. It's too thick, right? The minimoog 3 oscillator thing, it was, but the multi-poly has 4 oscillators and it's a polysynth. So I don't know. It's kettle calling the pot black. I don't know. We'll see what goes. Anyway, all right, everyone, go about your business. Go have fun. Glad to see you. I'll be back next Sunday. This week, I'm going to try and actually get some music written. So, as I said earlier, one of you got me hooked on Vampire Survivors roguelite game, and that sort of sucked up my time this week. So, I didn't actually write any music. Hey, Lemon Delight. Everyone, have a great time, and I will talk to you later. All right?